You're about to witness Philadelphia's own pound-for-pound star, Jaron Boots Ennis. Everything's set for him.
Boots Ennis is the class right now of the 147-pound division.
I think he's an unreal talent.
I love his style of fighting. I think he's explosive.
And the fact that the worldweight division ain't in the world.
This is the Boots that everyone in boxing has their eye on, man. He just doesn't let you hide. Everything comes in slow motion for him.
Point that out here. We can't take it back on the plane, so.
You put that joint right there, it's gonna be his ass. Look, boom, do it again.
I got you.
We getting ready, we doing strength conditioning right now. Underwater treadmill, getting our legs strong, you know.
He's explosive, he's conditioned. Really, we're already fine-tuning. We're probably 3 or 4 weeks ahead in this camp. So a lot of loaded mobility, a lot of core, just building that necessary body armor. Oh boy, we need the 5, come on. Yeah, there we go. You gotta work hard to maintain that.
It was a sweat training session. It was breaking the sweat, sweating a lot, and trying to maintain the weight now.
Jaron Boots Ennis and Xander are fully locked in for the 27 June challenge against Xander Zayas, preparing with complete dedication. Roy Jones Jr. framed Ennis's motivation not as passive ambition, but as an active pursuit, arguing that Boots has moved past the waiting phase and is now deliberately targeting the most credible names available to establish undisputed divisional dominance.
Boots, on the other hand, is looking for that coming out party type fight. So he got to fight somebody at this point. And because he couldn't get A, he went to B. And I like that about Boots, because Boots saying, I want all the smoke. If this one won't take me, I'll go find the next one. And so, since he couldn't make the fight with Ortiz, he made the fight with Xander. This is what you want to see.
He then extended that framing into a broader competitive forecast, predicting that whoever emerges from this collision won't simply record a win, but will position themselves as the defining threat to every championship at the weight class.
This is a barn burner, I think. May the best man win, but both of these guys are capable of becoming the biggest threat to Fundora in the weight class, because right now, Fundora is still the king of the weight class.
Andre Ward shifted the analytical lens onto Zayas, raising a fundamental question that cuts to the core of the matchup: whether elite physical attributes and raw talent can genuinely bridge the gap created by a significant deficit in professional experience, or whether the timing of this challenge ultimately works against him.
They're still two young guys. Boots is 28, but he's still a young guy. He's in his prime. And, you know, Xander Zayas is 23. And when I look at this matchup initially, the first thing I think about, is it too soon for Xander Zayas? Is it a year too soon? Is it a year and a half too soon? Some would say, but he's still he's a two-time world champion. That doesn't mean that he's ready for this. I think Xander, and I like Xander a lot. I like him a lot personally. I like his movement. I like how he's carried himself, and I like him. I've seen his growth, calling his fights on ESPN. He's got a lot to like. He's got the range. He's got the height. He's tough. He's got a whole country behind him, and he fully embraces trying to be the next great Puerto Rican champion.
Ward then reframed the stakes specifically from Ennis's perspective, arguing this fight carries a weight beyond the record. For Boots, it represents the clearest available opportunity to convert his reputation from a prospect who dominated lesser opposition into a verifiable pound-for-pound force, and that transition requires a performance, not just a result.
He's gonna cause some problems for Boots Ennis throughout this fight, but my initial question is this too soon, or is it the right time? Is it ripe and the right time for Xander Zayas? And for Jaron Boots Ennis, he needed this name. He needed this kind of matchup, because that's been the biggest knock on him. It's like, yeah, you passed the eye test. We see you have skills. We respect your movement with your father and coming from Philly and everything that you guys do. We know, it's widespread rumors, and not just rumors, but the truth is Boots is he's a gym rat, and he lives boxing. He really loves the sport, and you see that when he fights.
He then introduced a more cautionary analytical note, identifying a defensive pattern in Ennis that, if exposed at the right moment, could fundamentally alter the trajectory of the fight. Ward's point is precise. One structural lapse against a fighter of Zayas' physical caliber is not a minor error. It is a potential turning point that could unravel everything the champion brings into the ring.
The question or concern that I have for Boots is Boots has had his way so much that I don't always see Boots, even though he does have skill defensively, he doesn't always use it. I see Boots sometimes get hit with clean flush shots. And I'll see him get hit in a fight with a repeated shot. And my boxing brain says, you took that shot against this guy. What if you get hit with that same shot against that guy? So those are my initial concerns about the fight for both guys.
Ward closed his breakdown with a legacy-level framework, arguing this fight carries binary consequences for both men. For Zayas, a victory would represent a cultural and sporting landmark for Puerto Rico. For Ennis, it cements his standing as the most feared presence in the division. With that much at stake, Ward suggests the margin for error on either side is effectively zero.
If it is the right time for Xander, and he's able to pull this off and beat Boots on points, or somehow hurt Boots and stop Boots and put on a great performance, Puerto Rico has their next great star. And if Jaron Boots Ennis is able to deal with Xander Zayas and stop him and dominate him, it's going to prove a lot of what we've already seen and know about Boots, is that he has it, and he just needed the opportunity to prove it. So
Roy Jones Jr. pushed back firmly against any narrative that Zayas' age or inexperience disqualifies him from this level of competition. His argument is structural. Once a fighter holds world titles, the sport no longer extends developmental courtesies, and any reluctance to engage with elite opposition does a disservice to the fans and to the sport itself. If Zayas genuinely aspires to legacy status, Jones contends the proof has to begin now.
They want the glory, they want the legacy, and they want to prove something, and I respect that from both guys.
Me too, and let me say this to you right quick, Dre. See, this where we gotta learn that, it's like we can think it's too early, but we can't say it's too early when he's already a two-time world champion. It's not too early. It's not too early because
that's just a question that
no. Let me finish. Let me finish. If he's fighting for two-time world champion already, what if he go for the third one and he gets beat? Then he misses a big money fight with Boots, instead of going on and taking this fight. You understand me? So it's like, so many times we get cheated out of fights because guys try to wait till the fight simmers or gets to where it needs to be, then or wait till they think one guy's ready. No, if you're a two-time world champion across the board already, you're ready. If you're not ready, you shouldn't have got them two titles if you weren't ready. So if you got two titles, I don't want to hear that you're not ready. You better be ready because you're two-time world champion. You got two of the belts in the weight class. Everybody in the weight class want that. So your behind better be ready. You hear where I'm coming from?
He closed with a forward-looking assessment centered on what this fight demands from Ennis specifically, predicting that the weight of the challenge will force a defensive and technical evolution the public hasn't yet witnessed. In Jones's reading, the survivor of this fight won't simply have won a contest, they will have undergone a transformation that elevates them into a different tier of the sport entirely.
Boots is looking for the opportunity to shine his light. And Xander is a guy, like you say, that you can't let hit you repeatedly with the same shot or you won't be around long. So Boots gonna get on his game. I'm sure he's gonna tighten up and get on his A game because he know he has an A opponent. So I think the fight is perfect. I think it's the perfect time for the fight because the winner of this fight is gonna be something special.
Robert Garcia identified structural reasons to believe in Xander Zayas, arguing that the matchup stylistically offers him pathways to an upset that most analysts are overlooking against Boots Ennis.
Xander's positive about himself, man. He sounds very confident. I talked to him and he's very confident, very positive. So definitely gave him a shot, man. Boots has never been in that division for long. Only one fight in one round. So it could make a big difference. Xander's a big boy, man. Xander's a big boy that might be looking to moving up to 160 in the near future. So it's going to be an interesting fight.
Mickey Bay, however, took the opposite stance from a developmental standpoint, contending that Zayas hasn't yet accumulated the experience or ring maturity required to navigate the threat level Ennis presents at this stage of his career.
I think Boots going to end up hurting to the body, or or he going to end up landing something, I think, and hurting Xander, and then the fight going to change. And I honestly think he probably finished. Yeah, that's just my opinion. fight just because I think the Xander is, I commend him for taking the fight because that's what boxing is about. Like, you know, I just don't think that he's ready to beat Boots.
Keith Kalan echoed that developmental concern, acknowledging Zayas' technical foundation while pointing to the specific elite qualities Ennis possesses that place him in a different category from the competition Zayas has faced previously.
Not the most talented guy. I think a lot of people acknowledge Jaron as being one of the most talented guys, but is he a fighter putting it all together with all that talent? What do you think about his skill set and his IQ outside of just the blazing hand speed, the sharp, heavy hands and punching power and athleticism?
I feel like his talent, and his talent is just it's at the ballpark, and I'm saying that I'm saying that from, you know, a true like a real deal serious boxer, you know.
Sean Porter refused to tip the scales in either direction, analyzing both fighters as equally equipped. From a competitive standpoint, he views this as a genuinely balanced contest with legitimate arguments on both sides heading into June 27.
And I think that we will see an amazing Boots Ennis against a superb Xander Zayas. And I think the best man will win that fight. I don't think that that's a one-sided fight either way. If you're from Philly, you don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? If you're Puerto Rican, you don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? But it's a great matchup. But
Andre Rozier reinforced that balanced assessment, framing this as one of the more compelling matchups in boxing precisely because both men bring elite-level tools and the mental drive to use them effectively under pressure.
Whoever brought these principles together is like old school. This is a really, really good fight. It's an old school fight, champion against champion, and it's going to be a tough affair.
Thomas Lamanna, drawing from direct sparring experience with Ennis, offered perhaps the most grounded prediction, a stoppage win for Boots. He believes Zayas will compete hard and show character, but that the accumulated damage will eventually force a referee's intervention.
How does it end, Fleet? 7th round stoppage, Boots. Or I could see, you know, the corner of Zayas, you know, calling it quit. Saving him from himself. I can see Xander wanting to continue, whatever. I think the corner will, you know, wave it off. I believe so. Or Boots just gets him out of there in 7 rounds. Will it be competitive, or will it just be a lamb to the slaughter?
It'll be a competitive fight that Boots will win every round, though. Does that make sense?
Bryant Jennings aligned with that stoppage forecast, going further to suggest the gap in levels will be fully exposed only once the fight runs its course. His analysis centers on Ennis's ability to find and exploit damage, ultimately overwhelming Zayas' resistance.
Oh, Boots stopping him in like the 5th round. Yeah, Boots gonna stop him in like the 5th round. So my thoughts is nobody in the world can fuck with Boots. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Nobody in the world can fuck with Boots. And no matter what they think, they're still underestimating it, because, you know, what I've seen or what we've seen all together with, you know, whether it's on TV or whatever, you know, we still seen the limited Jaron Ennis. But in the gym and, you know, throughout everyday life that we see him experience him, we see Boots. And the world is yet to see Boots, for sure. Like, the world has yet to see Boots.
Raul Marquez built on that strategic layer, urging Zayas to treat ring time as a critical variable. His analytical point is clear. Allowing Ennis extended moments of stillness plays directly into the champion's hands, whereas constant pressure and disciplined execution could dismantle his rhythm.
That speed, and I don't think he's got the speed, you know, to outgun someone like Boots. I think he's got to apply constant pressure, attack at angles. You got to rough him up. It's got to be an ugly fight. Make it an ugly fight. You got to push him back. I don't care, elbows, whatever it takes. You know, whatever the referee doesn't see, it's boxing. If the referee doesn't see it, then it's legal. You know, you got to Boots. Especially if you let him think.
Yeah.
If you let him think, he's gonna outsmart you.
Oscar De La Hoya leaned toward Ennis on stylistic grounds, but was careful not to dismiss Zayas entirely. His reading of the fight suggests Ennis holds a measurable edge, yet acknowledges the contest is not so one-sided that an upset falls outside the realm of probability.
Stylistically, it's a great matchup. I think Boots is very, very talented. He's in his prime, obviously. He's facing a guy who knows how to use his distance and throws hard punches, combinations. He has the will to win. I mean, this is going to be a great fight. I don't know who's going to win. It's tough to call, but you might have to give the edge to Boots just because he's on a roll, you know, with his past opponents, the way he's been handling them. Stylistically, I think I would have to give a little edge, but I do love Xander.
Paulie Malignaggi framed this through a developmental lens, categorizing Ennis as the type of threat that genuinely tests whether a fighter is ready to compete at the highest level. His implication is that this fight may simply be arriving before Zayas has fully completed that developmental curve.
I am surprised they put in Xander that early. Listen, Xander will fight anybody. He's that kind of fighter. Super marketable fighter, so that's why I was surprised that they're taking this chance with him a little early. If he wins, he's a megastar. Ennis is one of the best fighters in the sport today.
Showbiz the Adult anchored his prediction in Ennis's composite profile, experience, technical sharpness, and ring IQ, concluding that the sum of those attributes creates a wall too high for Zayas to scale in this particular matchup.
Do I have Boots as of right now? Yeah. But I think Xander Zayas is going to give Boots trouble. I do. I think it's a good fight. If Xander Zayas were to win, that would be like, holy shit. I'm not sure what that would mean. Maybe I overrated Boots too much. You know, Boots, I have Boots in my top 5 pound for pound, actual best fighters in the world.
Zayas has dismissed the aura surrounding Ennis, claiming that where others see a monster, he sees only prey. He approaches the fight with the instinct of a lion, one that has been sharpened by a lifetime of stalking the most dangerous targets in the ring.
Out of bracket and say, man, this guy is scary. Or like, man, this guy's gonna be tough. I'm running through them. I'm running through all of them. Yeah. You know?
That's where the confidence comes from.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I always tested myself. And that's why, like, I don't shy away from anything because I know I'm battle tested. I've never taken the easy route. If you ask anybody, the argument with Top Rank, even coming up as a professional, was always me trying to get tougher fights. They're like, no, it's, you know, we got to take the right steps. And I'm like, no, I just want tougher fights. So it's never about me being afraid of anybody. Like, I've never, if they breathe and they have 2 hands just like me, it's fair game.
The young star is essentially demanding the challenge, cutting through the social media noise to prove the difference between talking about greatness and earning it. Having already been forged in the fire, he's ready to drag Ennis into the deep water where only the toughest survive.
You can't sit here and say I'm the best and you haven't gone through every motion. I've been through every motion. I've never shied away from anybody, you know?
Right.
Call me out, I want it. Let's go get it.
So who was your toughest fight in the pros so far?
Zayas acknowledges Ennis's reputation for staying cool, but he plans to shatter that composure with a tactical puzzle so intricate the champion will be left searching for an exit. He is betting his career on a single premise. Once he disrupts the rhythm, Ennis will be trapped in a mental maze with no way out.
He knows how to read a fighter, but he's never been uncomfortable either.
People have been, this is what I've been hearing, right, for some experts.
Beyond the heavy hands, Zayas warns that his true danger lies in his multi-layered attack. He plans to bait Ennis into a false sense of security, only to trigger a technical storm the world isn't ready for. With a style that shifts every 3 minutes, he intends to outpace the champion until Ennis finds himself drowning against a version of Zayas that simply didn't exist on the scouting tapes.
I think of myself, you better not get hit, because again, he's never been uncomfortable. He's been hit, but he's been okay. Like I can still, he rolls with those punches.
Right.
You know, every time he gets hit flush, you can see it. He gets uncomfortable, but then he gets back to.
Gets back, right.
And these guys, they don't have the IQ. They don't have the technique to keep building on that, right?
Right.
I do, and you guys have seen it. I build on everything. On everything I do is just something added extra to that layer. And there's no fights that you can tell me I haven't seen nothing new from you. There's always something that I get better at. There's something that I improve at. And this fight, I will continue to do that.
Zayas issued a chilling warning. He isn't just coming for the belt, he's coming for Ennis's composure. He believes the champion's brain won't be able to process the relentless pace, making any realization of the danger a case of too little too late. By taking Ennis into a realm of pure discomfort, Zayas expects to see the champion crumble as his mental defenses finally give way.
And be comfortable with all these guys and be comfortable getting hit. But what when you're not? Well, how is your brain gonna tolerate that? How is your brain gonna react to that? It's not. It'll be too late.
I guess there's no real easy fight at 154 anyway.
We want to hear your breakdown of this massive clash, so let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and tune in for more videos like this as we bring you all the latest updates leading up to Fight Night.